The Biame Betna a transfer news na a year medeba. And there's a specific reason for that.
Okay.
When you are in the transfer season, the news about very, very, very thick and fast until 1 minute. The next minute, when we say na update about. Yes, see, assume see a free club we echo a different club. And it's very important say ebema yeti fono atinye maybe ase concerning the deals clubs no close. Because Gabi, in this particular window, no, it looks like we are going to see very historic things already. Yahu Brandon, Morgan Rogers, sorry.
Yeah.
With Aston Villa, or Chelsea. And I think so far that has been the biggest transfer so far. But it may be air kosu. Different clubs across board. Gabi, enra as at 11 p.m. Enna eba abontin say Côte d'Ivoire for Branty F Yon Monday. Real Madrid for Atiska 100 million euros. Our Modesha Abrante din. And they want to sign him ahead of a season na Urban. Na Jose Mourinho aiding Komobi. On say Real Madrid must start pre-season and they are already, doing their activities. Jose Mourinho share modern ball for players now or at his disposal. No. Any bisa na simbi. Say players now. We need some reinforcements in the team. Also, of course. More pacey players in the team. Inti player or Tumrika. Say a bobo on the wings no so obit me Tumrika nya ball no cross it into the box. Those kind of profiles. I wasn't surprised.
Oh, okay.
Say on your Monday, Nasema Bab on Tia, say Real Madrid Eshano. But Gabi, during the World Cup, Sobekaya. The same Yon Diomande was being sought after by a Paris Saint-Germain for the same 100 million euros.
Yeah, Leipzig for Nantes.
In fact, what happened was that it looks like the bid had not even been submitted officially. Not any name. Say 100 million. No, that was the asking price for a player from Yon Diomande. Until as of now, it looks like Real Madrid also want to match that price. I want person the Baba from. Because once you bring it down, it means you are trying to tell the player that whatever is the asking price that PSG for no air quote, he's not worth that. Now, only Madia RB Leipzig for no air can. They have rejected the bid. That's number one. But after rejecting the bid, they have made it clear to a Florentino Perez, see, who company say you're voting as president of Real Madrid, okay, say there's going to be a 150 million euro signing. If that is the case, then that should be our player. Okachiraman saying, say, Obe president of Real Madrid, you make 150 million euro signing. So, if that promise is to be fulfilled, fulfill it with Yon Diomande. So now that's the asking price of RB Leipzig. They have capitalized on the promise of Florentino Perez to ask for more money for their player.
But I think that the last time PSG coin, sir, around that 100 million or more, because of player near 120. So why 30 now Babacon?
Enter America, okay. So they have capitalized on the campaign promise of Florentino Perez to increase the asking price of the player. And I think that is a very creative business to do, Gabi. In this transfer window or in this transfer market, if you are not smart, player now more money for that player, you will sell him for cheap. 100 million is not cheap money. I think Yan Diomande is being overpriced. Because Gabi,
even the 100.
Oh, come on. Yan Diomande. Unka yaji BBR 70, 80, honum. Because I know the player has a very good potential. Like the potential is there. Now you know that this guy has something. Even when you look at his track record, Nima of him through his career to get to the point he's at now, you can see that no, there's something special about this boy. Only 2, 3, 4 years beer, he'll be able to reach that potential. But 100 million, market and I can agree to some extent because if RB Leipzig everything shed that loophole and point to Florentino Perez, so we promise. So be president, Uber sign one player for 150 million, and then my player no player in Diomande. So that is what Real Madrid are facing right now, and I think RB Leipzig will not back down until they pay that money.
But do you think, sir, Florentino Perez, minimum,
yeah,
in terms of transfers, will make it the big transfers.
Yeah,
bid 250 for Jan Diamondi. Those said that's the asking price now.
Yeah,
for RB Leipzig. But Florentino Perez,
I bet him pass over the out me. But on say as of now, the other story coming in from Real Madrid for us and they say they are trying to look at exploring a deal for Rodri. If you look at the dynamics here, Pao, it is not coincidental. Say these two players have come under Real Madrid full scrutiny over the last few hours.
Okay.
Because Rodri didn't here, Pao. Look, Rodri Eka say, Onyaya, he will come back to Spain. That has been the position of the player. So currently, look, he's under contract at Man City, but that contract is in the last 1 year, sorry. And player Biano say, "O contract nika 1 year or contract niswa." You automatically enter talks with the club, no, to see whether there could be an extension. Gabi Rodri did 30 years. It's a Usha player nan kasana uhune ne caliber no, winning the World Cup now, 30 years. And Manchester City don't want to allow him to go now. It looks like they want to give him a 3-year deal. But that 3-year deal, because he wants to go back to Spain. Emma Basuna for crowd because say, oh, yeah, play and cry. But do you know what Real Madrid is doing now? Real Madrid have a strategy. So almost a player no, the contract akabe 1 year or so. They find a way to throw in the speculation in the air. No more sabe deny, oh, player we yam peno. Shadi omri Ibrahim Konate. He allowed his contract to run down and then Real Madrid Ecofano free transfer. It would have been more creative for Real Madrid to wait for Rodri 1 year contract now to run out before they go and pick him up. But as it stands, Florentino Perez secretly is looking to have some engagements and talks to see whether they can go and bring Abrantes friend Rodri Cascante Hernandez. And Gabi, if you ask me, look, Udia Fatou Nchensé player no person call back to Spain. Real Madrid have always been very smart in the market. But as it stands, Manchester City also try say Ombetimia convince Rodri to stay. There is no way Man City will take anything less than 50 million for Abrantes friend Rodri. There's no way. And so that is also another interesting aspect of the issue that we'll look at in the coming days. Whether or not Rodri will be convinced enough to sign the extension at Manchester City. The agreement I am hearing is that on person money 3 years more. So on City, no, or he doesn't want to sign. But at this point, no, Madrid want to go and bypass their originally, established idea of buying players. On person on 1 year no so no more for free transfer. No, it looks like they want to bypass that and go and bring Rodri to Real Madrid. But we'll see how that goes. I know in the few hours, in the few days, no, you better updates from there. So Oka Nina Boma, you realize that it could possibly mean that Real Madrid will want to spend or be looking to spend more than 150 million euros on Abrantes Freno, Yon Diomande, and Rodri. It could be more than 150 million euros. And as to whether Florentino Perez will sanction that, only time will tell. Gabi Anopeyana Mitese Manu Kone of AS Roma, France international boy, it looks like Manchester United are following him. And as it stands, no personal terms have been agreed between a player and Manchester United. In principle, Madiakano, and they say club to club negotiations ever go on. But the biggest twist for Manu Kone deal and they say on also train PSG. So you look at the linkage between PSG and the French players. Say player be about France national team. No who say a team like PSG bet me about Befana. They would rather consider that deal than to move all the way outside of the French league. And that is one thing I've noticed. Because to play in the French league, number one, you have the comfortability of playing with players who are familiar with you. You are still in the French league. You still have the guarantee of becoming a more developed player before maybe thinking of going outside to go and play outside the French league. At this point, you can tell, say, Manu Kone as a player, Onyaya, PSG, and he's waiting for PSG office. That is why at this point, even though he has agreed principle in terms of the wages with Manchester United, there has been nothing finalized yet.
But PS, what new choked in Fifio, Waranzare, Jao, Vitinha, Fabian Rizzo,
and that is why I think, say, Manukone enya good deal, and a PSG for. Sorry, Roma for any good deal from Air Manchester United. They should allow the player to go. The player must go. Because, Gabi, another thing I've realized about Man United is that this particular window, they are reinforcing their midfield more. As an emphasis, more on midfield. And I think it is linked to Michael Carrick, philosophy or person or the Manchester United. Originally, he was a midfielder who played for United. And when you look at the kind of structures that he wants to build with the midfield now, it is something that we want to see happen. Because look at how Okofa Yuri Tilleman from Aston Villa, number 1.
Yeah.
Okofa, Chelsea for player Andre Santos for 50 million. And I think that even if they didn't have any idea or target that they had in mind for the player, on common team Kofasa player for over 50 million pounds. Because player know the kind of baller or bomber at Chelsea, no only bad player. A woman said no one started yet.
Yes, of course.
But he was a very excellent player. And for Chelsea to make that profit on his sale, it means Manchester United have a plan, and you see that is what he wants to do. In FIFA, he wants to reinforce the midfield. But I'm sure players like even Mason Mount may have to leave. Because imagine say, the Manu Kone Abekano, Manu Kone boy a World Cup, he was super excellent. So we want to see that kind of transfer because I think Manu Kone has a better chance in Manchester United than going to PSG.
So Mami Mr. Manu Kone and Arsenal so the sign and also Akusi.
For Arsenal right now, I think they are prioritizing Bruno G transfer.
Okay. Because
they don't want Chelsea to hijack that deal again. Already Morgan Rogers transfer. Arsenal were in poor position. Arsenal were asked to bring the same amount of money at Chelsea they back, and then they backed off, saying they were not going to increase anything above 100 million for Morgan Rogers. And at Chelsea found who in term for Morgan Rogers by 470 million. So it was their loss because if you really value the player, you will spend that amount on the player. And if Chelsea bypassed and went to pick that player, then it means Chelsea also realized that no, the player is going to be of value to them. But as it stands now, Newcastle for Bisa for something around 80 million for a year. Bruno G from Arsenal.
70.
Now 70, no, you already know that Newcastle, they have become very stubborn in the market. Gabi, Obiano may be in the Premier League. And do you know why? It's because of the Morgan Rogers transfer. After the Morgan Rogers transfer, Obiti Elliot Anderson transferred by just 1 million. No? It increased the ceiling of players and their value in the Premier League. So compare Premier League proven player. Be ready to spend nothing less than 80 million. You will have to spend. Bruno Guimaraes, what did 28 years of Gabi? 28 years player costing 80 million pounds.
2, 3, 4 years back and KB are 48.
52.
Yeah.
That is how much you will get for a player who is 28 years and above. But today, we are buying those players for 80 million pounds, Gabi. So think about it. Steve Parish, chairman of Air Crystal Palace, after that deal of Morgan Rogers, to Omani clear to Chelsea from penny for through Bedad Egbali say, look, yeah player now more cast emotion in Adam Wharton. We will not sell him for anything less than 100 million. We will not sell him for anything less than 100 million, Gabi. Adam Wharton. I agree, he's an excellent player and I give him all that respect. But if you want a player of his caliber in your team, I don't think you have to go and spend 100 million pounds. But after we saw that deal of Chelsea for Morgan Rogers, also there be that whether it is you or any other team who is coming for Adam Wharton, you will have to spend more than 100 million. It will be maybe. And that's the situation in the Premier League right now.
Okay.
Gabi, Anopeya na Diarrio, Kuwakra Tai was Spain. Edibetu just say Arsenal have submitted a bid of 100 million euros plus Victor Gyökeres omode pe Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid. And when I saw the news, I laughed for a few seconds and I was asking myself, say Barcelona for air shot the way. What would they be thinking? What would be their response? Because originally in the year, they said Arsenal for they wanted to make a signing, even if it was not a marquee signing. They will make a couple of signings. If you look at that signing, you realize that okay, Arsenal for no, they are in business. Pakabi, do you think maybe so? Just help me here. Do you think say Gyökeres plus 100 million euros and yeah, be 50 million and now 70 100 million euros?
They are traders.
Oh come on.
Now the person much Julian Alvarez and the boy.
I don't free having the buy
200 million, you know, because Victor Gyökeres for now. Okoto Victor Gyökeres.
You spend something like 100 million.
100 million. What the Ebi Kra one cry be 90 million pounds. In this we try 90 million pounds for Victor Gyökeres. Yeah. Now wakoto Bruno. You can't say
Bruno G.
There be
Julian Alvarez.
You then cry 100 million. I say 190 million. Aye.
I don't plan if you have in the Siba for many nana. I don't. You see, and that is how the market has now. Look at what the market has done today. Look, the thing is that even if it is not true, Gabi, the point is that compare Victor Gyökeres to Julian Alvarez in terms of their numbers. And opinion can want some love FM so, and you realize that it is quite clear that Victor Gyökeres, his performance for Arsenal last season, they would have wanted more from him. The truth of the matter is that Arsenal, if they want to be very progressive in what they are doing, they will have to give the guy a chance, a second season to prove his worth, but rather add one more player to him. The solution is not taking him away and bringing Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez alone is not the solution to Arsenal for goal scoring problems. It cannot be.
But even Crampon say, who a team last year now compete so about the UEFA Champions League. Your dream was na Ankanya require the FA Cup. Na wadi Carabao at the account. No wadi Premier League the account. Good. Which I went to making in a Mubako na the ultimate. So person maintenance purpose na.
Why you selling Victor Gyökeres?
Yes. All this has track and move about the count. Then we prioritize it back about the big matches are. Now back on about the other matches and then what they are now open. Meanwhile, I can't have it or no back when they were pra or the Quabanabe
and Victor Gyökeres gave them at least 21 and above goals and assists throughout the season. It's just a way or buy 5 goals. No, he is a good player who, if given time, he will settle in the Arsenal team and he will help them get the goals that they need. Into the whole 100 million plus Victor Gyökeres. I'm sorry, but if Arteta is looking at that thing and he's sanctioning it, and maybe your person will quarter 5th and 6th in the coming season. Because Gabi, you agree with me that the playing field has been leveled in the Premier League. Season here, boy. Look at everybody who the top teams. They have all brought in new managers. Tottenham Hotspur now business all year this summer. Taking 80 million for Sandro Tonali from Newcastle. And Okra can be in Newcastle for Omenu Mebieno. Because if they sold Sandro Tonali for 80 million, why wouldn't they sell Bruno G for over 80 million? Do that. Chelsea in Xabi Alonso went in for his marquee signing in Morgan Rogers, 117 million. Michael Carrick is making signings. Somebody has here. So Arteta needs to sign. But if this is the approach to sign, I don't know what they are targeting for next season. Gabi, Chelsea have done their thing again, and I think that by the time this window ends, the biggest winners will be Chelsea. In the
transfer window.
This transfer window. Someone named Aston Villa for set piece coach now, your friend Austin McPhee.
Yeah.
Chelsea for Kofano, and now it was confirmed that Austin McPhee said goodbye to the technical team and the coaches as well as the playing body of Aston Villa, and now he's making his way to Chelsea Football Club. And now me who news no me share again and me say what? This is one of the biggest things that will happen to Chelsea this season. And throughout the whole week no say
and you see, one thing I love about football, memories are not football ediba. And my name is Adibu. We are here. The memories ban temchen football. I don't actually know, but I know football. Let me take you back to your story. Unim said 2025, Madrid boy La Liga game against Leganes, and that game ended 3-2. And the Yebo game now, there come an 18-year-old guy who was playing for Leganes. He was doing very well. He was so instrumental in the game that he wanted to change the game at a point in time. On your shot on target back on, or force a corner kicker after Sanama reduction train on car. Leganes had to come and obey 3-3. He had a penalty. Yanji and Faman, a very controversial penalty. And a killing Mbappe ball free kick. Right after the game, this 18-year-old guy was in the news, sparking tantrums, cacophonies, said Madrid, you hear the mom after game interview, no. No, he can't answer. You will happen who say like an Isako postis akolano. An interesting story. Right after a year, Real Madrid is preparing 100 million for that guy. You on their Monday. The story na yekan. So a guy in 2025, the first professional game he played was against Real Madrid. After that game, Okabonte say yanye penalty be a mom, and now, like they said, Real Madrid, that's what football brings to us. Interesting story. And you see, Paris Saint-Germain was in the news, and I said when we can, the very first day that you on the Monday kick the game in the World Cup, and a team started say Yabano. And Gabi, do you know say Paris Saint-Germain started here, and a Real Madrid have a boy room. And what check here, the moment Kylian Mbappe joined Real Madrid, from that day till now, the transfer tussle and transfer bid between Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain are very interesting to watch. So time immemorial, yes, everything about Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain be blocked. Yes, João Neves beba, Yemanen ko. Rodrigo was on the verge of joining Paris Saint-Germain, Madrid demanding back. Yes, Vini is no more needed. He's joining them, and they will not even allow him. So between Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, currently in the transfer window, from last season till now, the fact that tussle, I enjoy any time a player is going to Real Madrid, PSG will hijack, vice versa. Into the next one. Brandt and it's John Diamonde. And you see, Yamati Fontia say currently, as we are speaking, say about we history and success Efima for the past 4 years till now. Paris Saint-Germain is having everything that they can use to entice a player as Madrid can do. And I'm repeating, success, any history. You found to change. See, I can't pin. Anything I'm married, the entice a player behind a PSG will be. In terms of success, it's likely they are about on the verge of dominating Europe again. In terms of finances, some will be. So now, because the Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid the player, we need to carefully analyze because they are on the same pedestal. And the BM, Joan Diamande to Paris Saint-Germain is just an icing on the cake. Gabi cake in a bit without the ice, but I fire the ice and better so. Paris Saint-Germain just want to show consistency by bringing Diamande because already flanks no are packed already. But Yon Diamande to Real Madrid is a real business. That is where he is needed. No crap party say only say no why not just obey move to Real Madrid that we will not talk about this transfer. Because on anything can be only say. Yeah. But because only say deal na tight, no, that's why we are talking about this one. And now we have a saying in our local adage say Okoto so tumfo ni bu bibia.
Baby obono pampa no.
Yes, that's a transfer window. No. Madrid the yes signings be. But the big transfer news are another ayati be no. Is subjected to one area on the field.
The France.
Thank you. Yes, that's it. Bakola din amfa. Yebeti only say din amfa. At a point in time, Duza do a big crab fame amfa and a Nigeria Monday. So me teacher Becca me say, in any rumor there might be an iota of truth, and maybe this time is serious. Oh, check it last season, Real Madrid team there boy now. One place less in terms of creativity was the right flanks. So the burden was on Vinicius Junior or Cretina Yejibo. So Real Madrid and Jose Mourinho knew say if you want to dominate, they must have the player there. Master Antonio Bebobi, it didn't work. Rodrigo in and out. You push Ibrahim Diaz the Koye and on the right side. So it's a real business that Real Madrid want to do. And I need your man dino etimiaba. As to so about Betimia Feti or Betimiaba might be a different conversation. But to the Real Madrid fraternity, it's a deal they seriously want to do it. And the BM Obi bisa question say, and I think that no one news in the buy no question will be bisa say, Oko Paris Saint-Germain, Oko Real Madrid, he fan a bebuano. You see, the Amanda is still developing. And as some year can in any say, Oko Paris Saint-Germain, maybe he will be given the time to spark the G. But at Real Madrid, it's a start in a play. Currently, as we're speaking, Ochake transfers are Jose Mourinho in Real Madrid. It tells you something. It tells you they are already taking winners and experienced players. Because last season, Omokofa Abranti and Dean and Nebastantueno Anfa.
Yeah.
Then Hoyton Anfa. And Avaro Carras. These were potentials. So this time they are going in for proven winners. In Tiabakofa Dumfries, a player who dominated a Serie winner in Italy. Yakofa Konate, he has seen it all. Bernardo Silva. Gabi Thuram, he knows how the stage is set. Na Yepe Rodri. So the Amanda should put in mind, it's a project in that club friend Real Madrid is here. It's a start and a go. So unlike Paris Saint-Germain, that's the coach will give you that adaptation, that settlement for you to adapt to the team. You can't say same for Real Madrid. So if he's coming to Real Madrid, also where the pressure so that he can prepare for the job. That is one thing I'm interested. But Senamidi can in common how threatening with the flanks, how flamboyant, how pacey, the balance or the babano. If for now, we must have the candidates or the right flanks. See candidate Dawson and Nana Joshua can transfer markets and I polluted already. You can't say you can now. You are being hypocrite. Exactly. From last year till now, una transfer window year polluted and starting there. So if you're better car, I will be very hypocritical. You who players be a to talk money price be and can't be doing it. It's no phobia there. That's how it goes. But currently, as we're speaking, your mandate to Paris Saint-Germain is just an icing on the cake, but to Real Madrid is a real business.
Then comes in a question, maybe, sir. But the kind of signings of Madrid, and the coach, this year, will Madrid have their total? More every season, no munya. Because of the dominance, trophies, and then the amount for one I say a chap of so mad person rising the beam with a kind of signings. Any coach, will make me do this. You
see, one thing about football, you say signings don't normally grant instant success, but it gives hopes.
Okay.
Sana football, it say signing players is here as to so be mana a 50-50. Bibi abeti Messi, but Emma hopes. O check the transfer trajectory Real Madrid in this season and they compare last season. They are taking proven winners, players built for the big stage and winning mentality. So it tells you, say, with the discipline, Madrid can do something.
Okay.
And with the coach, so signings are better than it gives hopes. And how proven these players are, how serious winners they are, I can say it can grant instant results for them.
Let's move on.
And I can't remember, say, me days at school, now me will be a parking kind pass, or me will be a kind. I say, at what point do you confess? The Gabi point ben now any power confessing. So why ya dibia uncle? At what point now confessing? You will be or bet you my accusing answer. And have people whom are more wrong now, they will just come and confess. And they be as your Real Madrid. You see, let me take you through the story. Federico Valverde and no Akokan, Sembi say, this is the time, and with the picture, Real Madrid is ready to win trophies. It's a time we will bring the happiness in the faces of the Madridistas now.
Wow.
And before Sandro come on, now last week, Wasiako this uncommon. So in just 2 weeks, Federico Valverde granted 2 interviews. And in the interview, he's talking about Real Madrid winning again and a whole lot of other qualities. And so you'll be visual communication. We dive deep. We what we call cognitive thinking. You will see, say, Federico Valverde, there is one thing, sense of acceptance, and what we call psychological surgery in Federico Valverde. Nkomana Valverde didn't know what Chelsea last season as a leader, they failed woefully for Real Madrid. In name primping, they are well prepared, and this is the moment Real Madrid are going to win trophies again. Last season, so Obia said the problems of club Real Madrid. People will start mentioning bad results, trophyless in Niema. That was never the problem. But Sab trophyless in Niema was a victim of circumstance. And I'm repeating. Ubisa Real Madrid Nibiasa, what were the problems of Real Madrid? They will start mentioning poor performance of the players, this and that. Now coaching in Yadi. These things were victim of circumstance. The circumstance this our results was indiscipline. Both on and off the pitch. Tactical indiscipline from the Real Madrid squad. And in the dressing room, the guys were not disciplined enough.
To make why clear, I think Benzema. Ebabeka said problem at Madrid have it. And I say, was it Luka Modric or Benzema Mbako? Ebe ka say problem at Madrid have it say. Player be who in position na obo.
It's just Benzema.
Yes, so that is the problem.
Yes, thank you. And to uti nsema Valverde kan na Gabi. Echa o say Valverde accepted say last season. Now boys in any discipline. They failed the Madridistas and now they want to do something. And you see, Nensem no kan me describing 3 things. Now Valverde as a captain, what we call ego deflation, accepting mistakes. 2, cognitive refraining. What young say as a leader he failed Real Madrid. Then 3, self-efficiency. Only player about we now maybe highly disappointed in last season. It was Valverde. Valverde as a captain last season shown say he lacked all the leadership qualities to lead a club like Real Madrid. Yeah. There was not a single moment that Valverde shown leadership qualities. Now Valverde too late now as a captain. And a Real Madrid must stand to no etimi fight coaches. Tin hoist mo etimi create tantrums ebe o the camps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you, Federico Valverde, you had the pain and the chance to play with Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. So you know how the trajectory go. You play with the big boys, Benzema. So the time a captain ban ibedi wono, when man control. And let me say one thing. Now me tia adibi, Ashering and it was very evident. When him said Valverde, he never inspired the guys. Let me give you a clear scenario. Say players say Bobo, Real Madrid team. Then time ana Benzema mo captain, Ramos mo captain. Now say you said Real Madrid one. Omufi Benabao dressing room ba. In the line of Moban, you see they will come first, second. Obo was a captain ne kasachiro mo. Were there a point I said Real Madrid dressing room ba.
Ne so boys pe kwan bi e be fa so aja e betumi nso agege ne yaman kakra aja ene no yetumi ababak na ya ba be adwuma de manti ene after the World Cup afi na ye first show e wo dwuma de so from Gabi Thuram the foreigner dwuma de me refi sa dia wono e peyimpo otua no enso e the head of commentary baby do wona chese otua no den ma bibia enso e comment no odo Champion Gabi. Good afternoon.
Fine. The diabo kodi e.
Onyame adom me hoye. Me hoye se won so hoye me so me hoye.
Yes, the one come to nu. Mami bom na abasu.
Sa.
Fatulo oni. Gabi.
And Mastu.
Mastu.
Yeah.
What I say? And I producer.
DJ Frankies.
Yes. And I come
all weather Frankies. Kwame.
And again, wife in Venice.
Yvonne ana.
Yvonne. When I back so kan.
Back with the answer. Ono no de mami ke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sana ye what I say. The way I come to nu ready isem ni buy obi ani ablia. Come to the way fire makuma semana santimai.
Yeah.
Obia de ji ye no obia so de beji ye de beble be say da ba yaba we utika mu kofia
boko
utu fia ko fa ko tu shira fm
and so we dane ye
yes
we
no
dane
pressure what I say
no pressure
pressure bia no utika be
tu nya botere na ye yiri wa dia ba sa
na bi na ma ashimi pa ne say Rama Duka ji player be fiesem
sa player be
o no be player na
Julian Alvarez
yes
na say nya complete
Ose
say munya nwi
bi bo pa mi enu pa fast na mi ye no
sa
hey I say kotokoni asno dey try pa man Madrid jije player we fi esem
ebe ha mo
ebe shia
me the update on Julian Alvarez na since the later transfer ho pa no granted the Jean Diamond
yes
na update e ba no
enu so akoyin
enya so mketwa say sia Madrid ni PSG na epre
okay
ana Liverpool so kan bi
na waka so so ifa no beko
sisi na mu ayedi no mu ayedi baba ade team bia even aka be 2 minutes amebe update asamba
sir
atese mu ayedi se ya ba de ba
o the Chelsea dey ba Real Madrid
sir
Man you for the some aside
Manchester dey wa ha
hey
na Manchester dey
no Manchester some be asho come say Madrid afi wenye yo
Madrid afi enye ye
e be Madrid Man you
Manchester
enye ye da
sir okay ye be
hey Man you team we pa sana ye
ye be the way be see
Kofie ne go tie Gabi
oh yes
follow ni ba Fatima
Trinity
na me ask say ma be shem kakra
yeah say new head coach aba
yes
new head coach
we dey as me did be say o
kapo aba
me did you oh no should work to position the yama no should coach oba na oba dili gida
but kotoko coach ni mu yedu no ba ko pe and ya ba ko pe but I know na ya entam fan kan se
yeah the guys pa as go to the guys Gabi and the Gabi we be say the fast the call because Chelsea for so much Real Madrid Barcelona for so much
of course
the fast pa ba me
ya didn't nyina de ba ntino afi na adu afi de to a
I Israel
FM ba e de by Israel FM so baby Joe na mo tell academy so Gabi Thuram ni ya come for farmers we say Joe na de anyway ya we
we the man do we the pedem we roku any asanka maya general manager pedem da maya ye fili
ya nya o sembi
man de
nti so wadi atum sa de no ano no
yes it obi address what is sema Gabi di ba sema di ba no odi on
yeah live e wo YouTube
oh yeah fast
no Facebook rather yeah live for Facebook
oh nice
no you show one show for FM
DJ Frankie
ana okay TikTok and as well yeah live or TikTok into maybe I'll play bia no betimi akona do message na
then also yeah
oko TikTok
I
know you insure 1045 FM or TikTok oko TikTok na wonso wa follow ya anytime ye be call live bia no wonso nsa be ka wo message no so de ba na ya kenkani nyina e de ma katro mi ase e foreign tidbit for budget ni we e foreign tidbit say na ya amoya na foreign is we ya transfers nko and bato okwa ba bia wutim what is o player bi ekono we de bo player ni den wo bona me hu player na me say update bi wo ho na metimi dia ma na
no so udu follow ni baba odi message baba ni aka
na ya can call message
ni na mo wo fie me ni busafo na etie e mu share on Facebook wo abrochire wo de busafo na mu hwe enti fabla na kan man we fe strategy for in any one call
yan comrade
we know they won the champion.
welcome call TikTok handle out the bar making kenning na and the man so on Facebook no met making kenning na the man and sweat mabwa yakato say transfers nkwa and pay every baby a wo he no padema and you broche for pato mo amuso mo de nwumene nyina wo de aja wo do message ba yakin kenning na and the medical kato say winning player bia o ko baby say bia what player ni dim wunya hu ni update bia ma wie mabei uba na what the message ni bana obisa sa player na medi won koba kakra ediama na uko Spain na wo mugusu signing sene kakra best Spain no ma mezi su say informa Spain no na update aba no Jura Narveres baby a okodom na wie mede news ne de brow sa obekọ Madrid ana say woko PSG ana say oko Barcelona no aha ana obenya ni nyina uko Premier League ni so a na news trend pa no Bradley Bacola ana afe Bruno Guimaraes Sankrofo no update no mede ba na Madrid Vinicius Junior yase oko Arsenal unyante okay Tami Kuchu na memfa update ni nyina mfa na wancheche ahodo so na quickly mama say from Italy na menin komo kakra menya coaching job na kakra Italy na yewe ne ba niam no nsu esiko na Andrea Pirlo enso aye coach ametiti sada Italian na set no mo heso metimi dia aduma no ediama Andrea Pirlo emada me baba kato sa Andrea Pirlo wo musa ka kitwa bi no metimi ni open na wiem na dia baba hwimnie yase sa last year woni betting company bi aduma na sa betting company no yase nia ene dia no o Russia betting company ni din at the phone bet na sa phone bet for no somewhere last year October 2025 ana yase wo moye na brand ambassador na sa aduma die no no ye ya ama this year ababe remo na amada yaso mo kotena se ama Italian Football Federation no omo yaso mo de aduma no ade ma Andrea Pirlo yase ho ana opanya ne de Sofani aya Malango wono na aya FA president Ababaka nan se brebi kwa no motiti sa last year wono ye brand ambassador Edema betting company nyame anim ne na se tim na yedi mo pay no obi ono de bet wona ani so de wo besi de aduma no Ediama and the Pello yesi emu atemionu ebi so aduma no wo mfama and the Pello betima ye aduma no ebi si coach opa bet won sam de wo me de man na wo hwe na tese wo ha tim no ene ye and the Pello enam betting ambassador brand ambassador me de man into them amana aduma ye na mu ya ye den ade amano ewo Italy ene yankoba kakwa so eba ewo aduma de so na me ko kefede na mama brante de de forcing ya wono ana kefede nasra teama wo me de ko World Cup no na no ye goalkeeper actually go post no obaka last week even 3 days ago me samba be update no ade man say yes brante no o ko Chile na Chile club ani dina de kolo e wana chasa brante no eko yesi enu anyimre ana sign it no kra ade ma kolo bobo kono enti ana o ko brante ne de forcia goalkeeper no train here e wo wiasa fa na nyina nam World Cup na me pata brante na nya sign contract ade ma kolo bobo kono enti o paso hu brante ne go dan ento aso pato ene o ko Tilia wo mu league no mo pono eno so ubenya brante no hona ene man so tima ko eno ya reporter mensa aka e wo dwumade so a ene avie me gba che kakra ade ama na me ko tufe na makwakodin ko kakra u ko tufa openya ni tin ade Luciano Spalletti wono na ye head coach ade ma tufe tim no na openya den ko kakra de tudwa wonim se Emiliano Martinez e goalkeeper anso de ma Aston Villa dodo na friend Dibu Martinez na ene abase yase Dibu paso fit tim no enya eye new test na fe o hede wa challenge ni be se kom eno da na nsentro for etwa homa anom ko openya ni de Luciano Spalletti anom bi se so matete se yase tufe ekwakofa goalkeeper de na pana sankomodi na kwakwa wiase no so nyame anim ne dobetima kapa ya sa brante na no kra wo manya brante na adi ayen kobo na akoda no this summer wo pese onya new challenge nti why not sa omujuve wo mfi se goalkeeper ne yakuda adenti no monko no monko fa brante no amfa ne man aye team and team adi tuve wo so already wo mo two goalkeepers ho ento pese o me competition adi ma goalkeepers na ho no ento munya brante ma ne ba ene ma nyina so betima koye kama adi ama me ne reporter aba ewo tumadi so ene ebia mi ka kire kakra anso adama na mamenko William Saliba na mini nkoba kakra why Arsenal player why France ni ba William sa World Cup na against Spain abrante na ntimambo game na wie ana obu change no ade ya yasi na titutu no na o back pain esasia tama na Arsenal wo mo di Premier League ni di se o na so eni ntoma ma abrante na anya surgery na sentem na ba sa abrante no ade na yero ntimi start matches from Arsenal wa bra season asase enti o mama na routine atasa abrante na no aso ye recovery planner wo mo di ama no betima ama no ho atoni ye pa na yasa abrante no ho ana onya ko efi Douala wansa wono ni nchifi kom Cameroon na Douala nkasa na omufre ana yase onya nkra hwan na afra na yase ne na ba so ohia no omra fie no omra mahede wa ani amansu esitia eti yase woko Cameroon na Douala kroki twabia ne dine adi Bambiri anata Bonabiri yase sa neighborhood no ona tesa brante na ekoye entini nyina yase ne grandmother anato ne Saudi Afra William Saliba yase wonsati enyo odakra ho ana betese onso no obetafre ana wosiati nso nya da ho na atafre enti eho na brante na ko atese ene okwakoba amane amanso aya kama wofie na yase okọ no odi Chelsea sekoye enom aya Arsenal Chelsea ana brante de de William Saliba edekoye ni nyina yase ode kwakoma supporters awomom eni di Arsenal hu ye pa se ne be Arsenal kanko no ene manso betima kosu ye ede amomom obo aya Cameroon na ene am de kakwa men saka ewo dwumade so ene awia mi pretere ede am away from that na me nkoma ni me from William Saliba na me ni nkoma kakra update men saka na no da nema enya 2 goals na nani nyina ye penalties ana onya Edema Santos boboko no ena da omu game omu bo mani Chapecoense ana edi esiane na za penalty goals no on the 36 minutes Anna Brantano, Enya first penalty, second penalty on this 89th. Anna Brantano, Nya no convert here. Amaniama Koye, Dema Santos Bobokono. Nyamiani Mniananko, we need 2-1. Na Edimbi Oha, ya de Toswa. In fact, Nyamiani Mnie, Utimise Junior Magu. Na Woko Womutimima, Wamu Ewo Abrante Bako, and so Eho, Atese, Wanono, Enyaman Koye, and Fama, Tapekwenzi, Ayabobokono, Wanona Tasso Koba, Dabrido, Emma, dear, and so Toban Kenya Sapadia, Anka 2-1, Ananka, Tessa, and Conformo, and some Edi Aya Santos Bobokono, Womusu Etimi Ebrama, and Yamako, Dabi, and no compare Santos Bobokono, when we play Abako, Nidi Ananias, Yemo Bible, Yehu Ananias, this Sefaras, Womo, and Yamayo Bokoe, and Nada, Ananias Akwe go, Anka Zanka Nema, and Momo Winnie, and Nada who came no boy, and to Baton, another player, the Genedi Ananias, on the 62nd minute. Anatese o making aye 2-1 ente kakitwabi nanka Tapekwenzi aya titima Nidinadi Santos abomu ntenam yeno ana ne Mantaroba o nuso enya another penalty wadi tuma de mamna sakem no Rafael Yao yeso koko he sakem ni be na Rafael Yao after the game no ana so kate de masa ni just no wenya obepe ye pa ente no da reporter mensaka aya sa brantano enso anya aya tese from aya the man anya reporter aba ewo tumade so ene ewia mi ketre kakra ediama na mamiko Cristiano Ronaldo na mini nkoma kakra wonim say okọ Saudi Pro League na last season 2025 womo amuji aye Saudi Pro League ni diso amena so no aye team and itina de Al-Nassr na womanya jabi ankan krofo beka so manya ska kakra abusia de asidie yesi Al-Nassr womo ya boka na Al-Nassr for ka o mabragu hono aye ko 250 aye million US dollars na sa 250 million US dollars no yase mamu niamama yeten e de matima de Al-Nassr say one best in players and tiama players on betoka no e ho ya yeten e de matim no e ko ba no sa de no test Al-Nassr this season this summer nya de so on be transfer window no makokoto player bia dina ba ani anko makakra mense ka e woduma de so nti Cristiano Ronaldo ene eniamama be yatempa e de ma Cristiano e Ronaldo emi ya update eja e ba e woduma de so a ene evie make che kakra adiama mami fi Cristiano Ronaldo na menko Afonso Davies menko din koma kakra na uko France Afonso Davies akwa ware na somewhere January ana Brantano abaya tese woni ni dia bro kakra na kodonkua wakati so dia ende onyeskaska ba no ho a obe wade abaya no ene ya somewhere January ana tese wodonso aya Brantane aya engagement ni ade na nanu ya na ya se France ana Brantano akwa ware of France na abaya no ya singer ni dim anso edi Seyane Jen pato abaya ni no ho ya fe papa mama no opportunity ago Facebook handed mubenya Seyane Jan nafe mahu abaya na Afonso Davies na no class me woman here another yesi what one inside the free P Square and the Nigerian musician sa womumna no mumna me brama test okay senam and commenti the word in answer P Square and omokoye tumani nyina edema Afonso Davies nti answer na season be sasa na Abrantano akokane me nyina aguate kama eno ya Afonso Davies dia efro Abrantano kwate enso edi eba na demande distance wintem here we are Madrid fan update time in second year yes Madrid the force say womu ayire so by August 15th on the 15th of August so player bi oba player bi oko Madrid ewu de we mu team ni besi aye de we mu structure besi aye de we mu squad ni besi aye ezan say omu odidi e pass say team ni betime jan na so wo mu nya sa players bi o betime aboa enema benye etime akoye ediamomo enta de time say ka say Madrid say August 15 there no ma bi signings bi o mu pem na Madrid August 15 na won peso mu wi o mu signings no eye players be ho ansem ana Madrid edi san komon pato me de ba na mama Carlos Enrique Mama Casemiro screens no so Casemiro anya sign adama Inter Miami na osani bi na ya say onya work permit e wo US enti na ma na tuma ye adama Inter Miami bo ko na ya yeten eno adana mensa kasa abrante de watimi anya de friend P1 visa so P1 visa no eno aye demanded the work permit atasa waba aye America mamu ha wo betimi aye aduma ho wo betimi dituma bi a won so pe e America wo ma de watuma na sa eno adana ya sa abrante ne nsa kan na ya so mo ne Montreal game na sa game na likely sa brantani dinadi ya kan say adeso no betime saka Casemiro ebesaka de ma Inter Miami ani am data mensaka dwumadi so na mame Anthony Ariola na mendi Liverpool ko ba kakrabusia de Liverpool anya the first shot na first shot o me anya no but anya very good it's answer Liverpool person kan anya hwe this season new head coach about Anthony Ariola about wababa ya tumane temo anota ya so many Sunderland about friendly game na so friendly game no mo point na ya 4-2 ana team and the Liverpool awin wo mo ebo game na 8 minutes per ana branch the daddy Joe Gomez akwakopra but Joe Gomez akwakopra and you be Antonio Ariola say ni player na we plan say na community obey okay and say na season no sasa na papa say no je want to be kan one better jo betima ma Liverpool dem bia swante say Joe Gomez akwakopra na ade be hat me ye pa it sounds na nko say season asia in a good note and on a good note and keze betima bra Liverpool bobo kono eno ya reporter mensaka tuma de so ena awai make it the adamana just Liverpool say and you may hear players after the bit my brother team and Yamakoye Adiamomo with himself already. Wabin Kudan Biaba Victor Emuno to say no about from Osasuna. Wababa Brahma Antonio Ariola Edumano I come Adiama Mamma small boy no I was Chris so I could that way when you're just 18 years a pair. Now Yasua player Manchester City Yazi City Aquakodano Manchester United and so Kono Yazi Chelsea Wama Kwakudano ho ana Arsenal bobokono anso Kwakudano ho atasa yaso ni mpobo ye pa na ebo ben na ni team ade adia wamsi 51.2 million pounds per team bia benya ska bia ade apa no ani abranta no wonsa ebetime aka abranta no Oscar Petro Zrowski abranta ni dine ade Oscar Petro Zrowski gwanom reporter mensa akansa Liverpool for din kobo sa omunya Petro Zrowski wanu to bet baba ya dware kama ade amati ba ne dina de Liverpool ani am de time second year enti yanko enim kakwe na me fan ko ba ne bi mfama me pato mame rando kolo muane na me ndi rando kolo muane hu nkoba kakwa na oye PSG player wono we di kan ko loan e wo tufe amfa ana tufe for so mu chanati yeti an say wadu air Tottenham Hotspur so league no manya kamawie ankomoma branch entene Roberto Di Zabi eba ya mesa wonsa da nyada branch yesi Juve asan kobiem so munya branch no mo pep ene e fi last month eba ana Juve ayo ma dwe say yesi sade no wo mutimi complete ankoma me say kanie yesa you so by next week there Esa kodano ni dino omuwie na this time same loan dino omupe but where your obligation to buy when you option bia ni season no and the loan dino bana we ya Juve so motor branch no anya require 40 million euros and yes come betia adiama PSG bobo kono ani am determine saka if you rando kolomwani akata na ebia make it adiama na uko Juve ho anya rando kolomwani nkwa no omupe yeso mu hia goalkeepers medical Kadibu Martinez de atro yase Lucas Savalier woni ye goalkeeper de ma PSG onsa uko Lucas Savalier wo mkofa akoda de ne bae no anta ana goalkeeper Sonofonov wono so de goal post ne dia fa anti uko PSG Sonofonov ano ye do no ma one stop stopper anso de ma PSG bobo kono anti Lucas Savalier ne de omo fa ne nya hwe Matis yase tufe aso mudi nkoma hwe omo exploit no mo chances no ebe ko writer ana Branton Dean adu Lucas Savalier wo metima kwa fa Branton no edna kotufe me bato anu ye goalkeeping department afa yanko striking force name nyamisa ekanie Manchester United awo Joseph Sexy yasi wo mu pese on person mo pe Joseph Sexy ene Rando Kolomwani awo tufe nim ho enti so makwa kodi nkomani ye pa ama mo ne Manchester din koma hwe se bia Manchester for betia se dia ene Rando Kolomwani ba wo mu nya Joseph Sexy ene ba ko da soro ba ko da form na no matima bokem no e dia bra Juventus bobo kono ene ya am determine second awo tumade so ene ewia make it kama e dia ma wan hwehwa hodo so Matisa Banta de dine edi Damsey boy ebisa say Yanto Monday to Madrid no transfer ne tisempato meye e dia ma na wenzu se Barcelona update anu so ya Fabio on the TikTok no okay Fabio meye dia ma don and so as okay WhatsApp group okay mame na menko benim King Solomon or say WhatsApp group okay me WhatsApp group no mehwe na me dia ma mo screen so na eno so atimabua bara ma me hwe na se ebia menya rando koro mu ani dia ne dia mama ma me di kanya brante we kwade no anse na metiba komanim ma me brante ne dia de Leo Sopenda ma me openda wo screen so Leo Sopenda aye player no wo tufe na yasi oko Olympic Leon eno adan central for kwati Leo Sopenda adon bisa sa adufe wo match wo preseason ase wo mu bo matches ye she be huwem adenti na hombo no so we ti boni bia ni atire na team ni na kasa wo mu petil ediama no enti no abranto no no ensa kan no enya fi no be saka na pra bia kwakoba e ba se pra bi be ma ni move na ho aye ten ediama no enti ye bisa se enti obenya ko Olympic Leon na so on Leon ana so enya betere ba bi obekọ no so obekọ abeba betota ba bia onko so abeba betota ani Leo Sopenda reporter wadi amaye ewo dwumadie so ma minko England kaka na mini nkome na minko Leeds United Leeds United New England Revolution one more player ni dinadi Jack Harrison yasa koda no gwatene Leeds United 4 years contract and Abranton so at the atene and Abranton the Jack Harrison and Harrison about 4 years no Wababepo at the team and the team Leeds United I won't come back kweta Elpa ewo dwumadie so ne now Chelsea for Mungadaha na menya update we from mom we are Chelsea fan me pato this time and them abekoye pa aduma na Enzo Maresca ebeye de ma Chelsea no pato reporter mensaka ene nkomo bia nam koban ene landing nyina chese the hierarchy ewo tidie ewo panya ne dinade Zabi Alonso mo se duma na Enzo Maresca be no betimi aye e de ata ne de no enti mame mamo the classical happiness etoso na se example sa etoso ewo Chelsea ntia wo mu fi so pany betimi aye duma no wo mu se one Uba Chelsea Vincent Cotisa wama fa nyina na wo compare sa the clinic wamo so aduma mo ba ba dia ma Chelsea to volley ene agbali wamo niam mo ya coach bia ma ya wama ya da amano aya ositie pa se dia coach ni be kan bi on be dia amano ya see coach we ba no so ka to mo say player we mentor na Chelsea force yate player way Mihiana Chelsea force yate player way technical staff no mu na mtutu ni niama Chelsea force yate and you timi fra ya cancer Chelsea sporting directors no aka to so player we mi hu no profile mu profile ne fama me am so betimi aboye pa ama matete kwamboza ya se opayi we afa adagule akwade na dinkobo awe se bia se made de nkomo ni nkoya adagule akwa ba Chelsea betimi aboa ya so we di san kobo no ama ya se Chelsea pay for the future papa we do meta no jo pebia over Chelsea team nya o pe player ko kanya mia ni kwa gombeto edjama no pato we are Chelsea fan koma mete ani mframa ebobo ne chese Enzo Maresca tuma no be the upgrade ana Chelsea Zabi Alonso eba be better start of the season no ani man said that enya ntotomo ezan Chelsea ede akoda ni dia de emeka ede akoda na pa na no da ya so mu ye training na emeka kwa kopra but me the update ya ba na mama say from Giovanni Kwanda we say from Sporting CP last season no bo we ana Chelsea akoda na pa na oba ya so anya small problem kakra bi anti Chelsea wo mo to no mo kona Branton be show mo awo Asia ne esa Branton de Giovanni Kwanda e be sha Chelsea team no pepe dia ya so he na sa bracket we bi no wo he no to se na be enkonko ye kase ani ya diamete from Luis Openda ya kan say Branton din adi Giovanni Kwanda mama nkoda ni me no screen so na ye he nkoda no na anya aya Branton nkoda Giovanni Kwanda nkoa makato sa mega amaga so ni jeni ni yesi be 3 weeks Branton be okay and he set us in started aya season ankasa de na Branton din de emeka enso ayo okay ubetima sia kan ade ma Chelsea and the Chelsea back line no anya ma nyina se ade bank kakra and your reporter ta eba wo dwumade so enavia no make it kakra ade ma na ni amensaka ya se omabi aya Kiliman ya say na mama gani Giovanni Kwanda wo musu injo mo piki yemti no late air call ano de ma Branton de Omari Kiliman so ani Chelsea team no and travel no mo ko pre-season no wo buba na se ni muamia ana kwanko bia so wo mena anya mate tutu apo ani reporter mensaka e wo dwumade so ene abia make it kakra adi ama wanchicha hodo so Michael Asumin asu good afternoon my boss Michael Mejo so mami ko mani ma kin Solomon menim baby a Ken with the fever. Was it good evening Ken man so Majo so R Kenny and so as a more fire. I don't know so the about TikTok. My messages no Anna sweet and hot. No abena Anna so the about okay. Abena menim baby I on so the fee at the aba and tell baby at the fever na what the aba. An official aya walkout. As a more update on Liverpool okay. Official mama on Saka but maminya way from mama. Mami fi Chelsea. Na me call Liverpool and where will be some official me say me call Liverpool Jamal Liverpool for metete so Branton itina di Joe Gomez plan no Liverpool for say anya record there o ma say Stones City for no mo head anya da sa tosi kwa edidi nkomo say bi o munya Stones on bepe and sanka Liverpool e na say Joe Gomez ntimi man pepe dia and nkomo e so betimi afa Branton itina di Stones na ja anko betima ba be tuma Jamal Liverpool and yankoba kakwa me say kam ewo tuma di esuni enei make it dem ma me ko air soma na me ndi Roma nkoba kakwa me pato uko air soma yaso mako RB Leipzig na omoko Leipzig a obeka Norway wo mu work up abrante ba kwa wo ye aduma pa de ba mo aya Antonio Nusa akoda no na ewo ni faso no Antonio Nusa wo se kan de ma RB Leipzig bobo ko no yase Roma for say wo mu nya Antonio Nusa wo betima boma mo aduma this season ene ma ko ye dia ma mo yase enkofo se ne bo pa between 55 to 60 million euros no card no general striker wana say no general player wo mu dia Branton so dite and this ebia Roma for per with this kind of bar, woman Sabaka. Now, and on credit the only player Roma for Epe, Santiago Castro, one year Argentina, and Nipa, what's a kind of Bologna, Matis almost so Crocodano. Now, Yasomoko Bologna Fortress, 30 million. And on that, and Tanya required yes, no more 40 million. Yes, Roma for so Tanto, we bet 30 million euros. We bet 5 million advance out of the account. Then 35 million. Now, first, our brand team, Adi Santiago Castro, one who tried to my training, Roba, and also Kakanye, na Mamiko Crystal Palace. Now, Cicel Petit Bakwa. Yes, so more players are Crystal Palace players, you know, almost a sapa. Now, you saw Mako Germany. Wamuzuko Germany, Wamako Ayo Osborg for Branton, the Christian Aye Messin Massima. Now, Omako Aye Christian Massima, Atas Omusu Christian Massima. Wamukoya, I think Confesso, Anna Kodani Bonanchada and Yakidi, Sir Wamunya Disca Cabo and Betty, and I say Crystal Palace for the 20 million euros, the economy. Namo pa namo mo players no kwa mo tonto mo no ahe na mo de mo je na mo ka se anim de mo ye no England ho na mo tonto mo players be 80 ene ade na ye player na mo de mo ba ho mo kwa 25 million kai mo ko voice kan bi nkan na sana mo betima ba benya Branton ya Christian Massima mo so betima nya Branton no ene reporter me saka ne na afi mu ngada ha na Michael Olise story no menya fama made for na mo ntene ye me ko Michael Olise me ye Michael Olise story no Edamam na Pedro was say I'm watching you from Aircat okay nana man who message no Mr. at Japan or some more update on AC Milan I say AC my kakra kama Edamam na Lindsay and so say please update on Manchester United okay from Eastern region and on also the about Goose Gumsen was say update on Barcelona okay mahu a hard rock as watching you live from a half name okay hard rock manya message you know and I Stana was update Manchester United story okay but maminya aya wenye me Manchester for me henma come ho na my demand jama na update on Branton the Michael Olise pato diabenie yasi say no ababa be yet ye pa emom openya ni de Christophiont ani Bayern pay for no ana do maba kasa no mba kasa o mo say Michael Olise anya de say wo me je Olise de na matim bia entu ye team na pe Michael Olise ato adwunim Branton nko ba bia ne enko ba bia tena ene ye dia menseka but Branton ankasa oya de bia ya ma no ayi kakra ezan say ya say man de form aka say wo mo pe no ama Branton be ka so ono onyama de dobeko but yes sankomo no di onyama de dobeko no Bayern force yankasa mad de for fa bia ma ana team bia so fa wo fa bia enyama ana fe why wa dwe kwa pesa upa akoda na to adwurim enya de say scan ketenkete no wo mo bete ana Michael Olise kwa no mo nyoma dwe so mo to no me bato ene am de ta mensaka efi Michael Olise ene mad de nkomo no ade eba ene na emu vie won ade Pia ko Jantia Monday so we na mu bi sa ho nkoma no me ba to de tene akoda we wusa na no atunufo etan say akoda we utumi so de nani mienu ana de hwetom wakopa ma mienu amata say ma mienu no we gina ha bra wompame akọ ma mi hu ne mani so yase personal agreement personal terms no mad the four friend no wate mad the dia na se Pia de four so friend na Jean Diamonde one so wate Pia de four se enti akoda no masa akoda we stubble and the two teams ni nyina ya so friend no problem ka we need to come out some chance meba enti se meba na emie no nemo hwan mu ana omu enso ye favorite so betimanya Diamonde enso me na ba besia kan dia ba mo yes two teams ni nyina between Madrid and PSG obi aba no say contract odi ma akoda no till 2031 and your contract obi ade ma akoda no akoda so wate ne sikasem dia ma de ma no so ye okay sikasem dia PSG ade ma na okay na chicks e wemnie yasi team and dia de Madrid omo no answer da hita branch no hopa emom wo mo de club ni na edi nkomo wo mo de yase enkomo mo ni Yanda Monday edi awie no wo mo sa akoda no hom and RB Leipzig and edele 1-on-1 kise wo mo dira mo so sa so masa akoda no betimi aboa enti no Monfa koda no emfama enti yase contact ne de RB Leipzig any month negotiations no egusu akose de ne PSG so no PSG de ne ni entourage no ni agency no and yaso mo nso ahiti we pa enti their player now baby a team no si aka de bom no e ho na mad da fa ana PSG so player na agency na wo mu kura player na nkasa no I want a PSG France offense no but to the mo ayedin ye pa na ana bia ya me bebe enkoma me nse ka ya sa ano ada mad the four friend ekodi o mu nkobo wo mu ni RB Leipzig yeso mu ya bebe na PSG nso frɛ say nkofo tamafo yeso ho yaba yeni abre den 100 million mo budget nkwade a yeso sika na ye ready anu yankoba kakra me nse kam ewo duma de so na yesi PSG for no mo so mo ntima de ase na jejo mo so mo ntima de ase akwa ya say wo madidi wona wo so wo pepe players ni ade na wo pepe players ni ade anka wo de ja player bi mfamo ba wo de ma me kobadim meba sa story so kana de baba be ya no jama Jean Diamande ko ya ma me City for no yaze Manchester City anu ada yazo mo de omo for official bid bi ankoye ebom no bu kodi nkomo yaze omo titwa no so na akwa yaso enya na yepe enti yaze Manchester City Enzo Maresca aso ne boys no etese womunya Janta Monta womuso bese abrante no and this abrante no okay pa dia womra City nanka wonja Madrid any team and tina di PSG and yankoba kakwa mensaka edi free aya team and tina and so edi Man City akate na mami aya Janta Monta ya wana abrante ni dedi Rodrigo Cascante dodo na friend Rode so City for kwaso mu hia Janta Monta okay mu ntie dia be update mensaka yes PSG ha ana di PSG bufo ne ba ye no yaze PSG for say mad the for aye pesman kuminya papa na omo ye didije team wo mu ye team asabe adwene boni wo mu tirim wo mu PSG baba ka sa wo mu nya banta ne de Rodri ankomo pep ana mad the for mu huri din kai mama bossa for crompa less I was how convo we mo musimu hia Rodri ana PSG for so okay mo pe Rodri ya ja Rodri jamamo Jean Diamande de ye hia no na fe ba me say a mad de twa no wan say one tia so san pe Jean Diamande wini pa ba ko waji Rodri wini pa ba ko Jean Diamande won so wote sa na de be Mbappe ata so many anya dia anka me de ba ya won nervous ani vitia so and there say PSG for na twa ye pass kwaya na sentem mad de for no amote no in fact o mani nyo sa mad de for hweni ya and anya de say o mo so ni o mo ebe for na ho close kra and your reporter ya say Tima ni dia di PSG so di tuta e wo duma de so ne e bia make atre e dia ma abanta ni dina di Yasin Boka wo ye goalkeeper enka de no se akan e de ma oji sinis boboko no ana teso ko FC Nyon reporter men saka ya se Tima ni dina di Al Hilal ana abanta na di nkomo ama teso agreement no ma reche abanta de kwa kosi akan enso e de ma Al Hilal boboko no eno ya reporter eba e wo duma de so Yasin Boka update men saka ni ma men ko banim kakwa na ye ni duma kakwa so na yamwe duma franco ye ni me mo mame fini so tudia was Chris no so mama Vinicius Junior na menya sa update no de ka mama ayi ne kwa mama aye Darius Paul you know for Darius Paul de na ha for mama journey on Facebook no mbato wo ha we no ya kan say Spanish na me de buy English jamal wo ko Darius Paul wo mo front page de da ho nie Vinicius Junior earthquake Vinicius Junior earthquake and you their front page wo da ho mbato asiteri nyani na Darius Paul say enra wo bo ho le quip mu nyina report so mo ha no matete say yase Arsenal for baby sase Vinicius Junior na kwanta ne ho a anka Arsenal team na nya bad and from Vinicius Junior say animo munya players we anim ha womo ebe pay already once o maka so munya Julian Alvarez so mo pe besanka Vinicius Junior ho ta odia enye Julian Alvarez asembia we dey Vinicius Junior straight na nka to so maka akofa branch na madidi nkoba kakra e was Spain enkoba mensaka around Fedi Babas ene madidi nie ya se ansana Arsenal betima ba bisa se Vinicius Junior ekwando mo hono na dami se Fiorentino Perez ana mo makwanya Fiorentino Perez anya ye na adwo se bia Vinicius Junior no wo beto na manako na so beto na aifa ana oto na manako e so the Pro League nim ana se Mikel Arteta ana de abante de mano and here from the front page Darius Sport the do man ne e make it jamal now mami fro na men ko the story na nkasemo but wukwa yasa abante na nkasa de wani ni entourage no enkomo mati nyina ya se madi ni diomu nyom babo won person me contract the sense no ati Emma Madrid nanka this season body ma Madrid bobo ko no but say the way ni masika kako yi dia amanfo ya nya gide se Vinicius dan ebia na tese obenya kom ni nyina so be jan Jose Mourinho so Jose Senior Vinicius Junior are important edema Jose Mourinho se mo Jose e kan kwa no me usabanta no wo betena na so ko ane dia Vinicius Junior if bantara kate ade abanie now mad the where biem yes mad say wo be here another defender na Alexandro Bastoni ano mudi akoda no nkomo wo mo we say biem betime anya akoda na yes Inter Milan say abante ne body is 70 million euros sabo na no mudi bo Barcelona for no ana Barca for anya antwa akoda no and this mad the for this nkomo no mo ba wo mo nyoma say 70 million ano mo ba betua wo mo nya twa kwa de Alexandro Bastoni aye mad de dia wo mo ni problem bia already kwa no some about 5,000 and fresh at the abandoned call and to be there could I come no problem here and you come back Mensaka now chance boys no Bakubi or ha may ya mom Pedro Neto I'm saying him some matches South stories in the bay and yeah baby season and ya buy so Pedro Neto Beko Pedro Neto Chelsea Boboko no and now there's a Pedro Neto and so ever go a new head coach Eba Mebato reporter Mensaka near Mama Pedro Neto reporter Mensaka yes Manchester City Edin Komo ana team and the Liverpool and for Edin Komo we say biom betimanya Pedro Neto na yazi Chelsea for so mo hana wo banya Saudi for so ba so munya Pedro Neto wo mo so be pa koda ne yepa and we dey anka problem me ne eche Chelsea for betia sia ada say bia no meja bante no amana ba be po mani reporter men second e wo dwumade so a ene ebia make check akwa edema no e update akwa so fi Chelsea akati edi eba na mamenko na menya Paddy Bakola ne story fama sisi story Bako so within 2 hours he air train pa aya Paddy Bakola na okohe yazi isi Paddy Bakola any PhD woman onko fa no ewu eza say month ago ana ese omunya hit kakra between Abrante ni agency no ni agency the fees Abrante we no wanya bench warmer where starter Atas a PhD as any game beyond the bono as a Paddy Bakola edinemo na koba ne sem ana PhD kobo gamer na Paddy Bakola edinete adisa manfo bia fifiri man sana Paddy Bakola beba wetima ba o say o player no regular player onye player dey trabent and this o man fi say abante no me dey trabent dey ne o mo so enyu o madwe kwa o mo team foforo e dey ma abante no nti no yeso ma didi nkomo amata so obi a tere ho ase so munya team Paddy Bakola nso beko ene report eja mensaka ewo dwumadie so nei meti ahonkoma kakra enso edema ewo dwumadie so na mame nkoma nim kakra na Emmanuel Apia as a update more update for me Chelsea stories and on so ope okay me ha na ye edama na we enso testadan was say was on so around okay wo bo bi dia na okay mame nkoma nim kakra na me hede wa enso esitie ana Kofi so the message there about Kofi the Kofi scammer Gabi Kofi schema pato nyabotrema me Kofi schema was say I'm schema from of force Kokopin update on Madrid okay my Madrid update no the man say Kofi as more update on Barcelona okay OB stitches and so Liverpool update Obi my kaka the my eyes and so I say I am Iceman watching you live from Abinti market opposite okay keep the fire burning and on so diaba and when so Gamson was it Chelsea update now Maminya Barcelona update kaka fa mama Mami Julian Alvarez I was Chris no so na Julian Alvarez in here but ankoba me say okay we cry for Arsenal boys no but answer another yababa ka say yes Julian Alvarez yes Arsenal for na dwendwene wo say bia wo mo de Victor Zokeres abeka ska no mo de na akwa Julian Alvarez yes all to come and says how do you know many ejimo pa wo many jim come na Arsenal for di no penti say Arsenal for adwene say adwene ya adwene pa e ma Arsenal we ti time kwa wo mo na 10 it's so this car kraba na with the Victor Zokeres aka ho a yes Atletico Madrid say how do we do many jim papa enye do na ntofo bi kika ho asam no ento mo so mo ka ten ntofo bi wo mo do mo modi sankofo no ya Barca for Sabasa for 8 omo a dia Arsenal for ye no omo hwenye the same thing but enkoba efiri Barca anu ya Barcelona for so de Atletico Madrid emu cheni ya ze Barcelona for say Julian Alvarez no omu hia no pa omu nya no Barca team no omo pe but as much as omu hia koda no sika bia ebro 100 million de omu ntio tom yanka Atletico Madrid for say omu Barca for no omu weska this is niama nyina okay adama Barcelona bobo no Julian Alvarez wo amru 100 million and this Atletico for your man yourself wo mu fa Julian Alvarez and fa mo enyo masem esa say na no dia no mo karima dey media ba wo mo dey Anthony Gordon Anthony Gordon aba and the Yeze Barcelona for say impo Abrante na man to the God in any karima de mi ebetima ya adwuma no already Ferran Torres ho Dani Olmo ho Hafinha ho wo mo say body mu ya din a sa players nyina betima boss number 9 no entenya fi no mepeja more than 100 million e dey akọ ma Atletico Madrid for so monye chekai wo mo so monye sa de kwa ani reporter men say kan e wo dwuma de so enei me ka che kakra de ma firi Barcelona kate ma menko Junior Coupe mini Junior Coupe nso nkoma kakra na Junior Coupe Barcelona Fonso ako Junior Coupe awadi nyakupo kedu uye ni say kwabena du na makomi abete awadi nyakupo okay o de ma men komla ke meba oso meba be ye we yede dia bom but Barcelona yasi wo mako AFC Bournemouth wo mu player ni dia di Junior Coupe so na mami Junior Coupe na yasi Coupe na nkasa de won say da anya number 1 target is Barca Fonso won say da anya number 1 target emom oye optional player akoba say bia o manya no mana bia ya si deko efiri Junior Coupe ye pa enti nyame anim ne e bia Julian Alvarez dia amem na bia o mu player bi dia sinanan ya no makọ fa Junior Coupe enso no edna ba ene ya Barcelona mu update ebenie Barca update ba ko ha na mame hwemu messages na mode aba na me hese bia kakra bi aba wetire na metime yi enso ede amamo Godfred Scott Godfred nso so wadwene na Godfred Scott so say update on Arsenal Godfred maye de amam afisam ase mo update on Madrid maye when okay mame nko akra na memfamo Cristiano Bobo was update on Liverpool okay Danny and say any update on Julian Alvarez and to Barca say I don't know maybe diama no Morgan baby Morgan say miss okay but me feel now positive and so I say good afternoon to you and positive so our positive me so and Soki one and so I say more update on Barca say Soki my paddy was say paddy watching you live from UK big ups and a party in Sodiaba and a tropical GH was a more update on Barcelona and Amaroso what also say Faras update time say Maya Jamana Mensa Solomon was say keep the fire pen okay and Barca fono Mami Jordan Faras and there be Mami Ferran Torres was Chris so Mam Ferran Torres na many Ferran Torres update them but Barca for mention here update time Saka on Ferran Torres here you see Barcelona kata ko down say wono anya de so mu jana manako sa why na adi so person firi Barcelona wono ankasa fa transfer request in fabra but omo Barcelona for pound there one person omo man extension esan say we good edema Barcelona we mu fidi abrante ne pa de wo mu si pen no we good player ene ma betime akoyem enso edama abrante de tin enso edi Ferran Torres intino Barcelona for no empato mu update ne yasa akoda nya de so okoba bia ento ya Barca fa na adi tum say wo mu nya extension for ma akoda na kama na yetime agulemo me bato makato say live our TikTok and your live our Facebook baby akobeko bia no we de kojo messages no hona menki kafama messages are making kan de nyina no our TikTok intino ko TikTok a no what message no hona makenka de ma now Barca phone on Amrik Laporte Maminye we mfama mom ansa na mafiri Barca on Amrik Laporte ekobeka kwa me sekanie yase Barcelona fofi sa omunya Amrik Laporte ebetimi aboye pa bere bia na nkonko ye sama we ezan say difficulties are Atletico Madrid edi omo form no wo mo person menya difficult bia enti yase Barcelona aya fa Madrid strategy no won say say Madrid omo nkaso omo ba player ho na say bia 2 years 3 years contract omo ba na yo omo kwana bra omo nkasa omo twenya eka 1 year na fo omo fe player na kasa eka 1 year unya Madrid ahombo yase Barcelona for say abante de dey Emile Laporte ne contract woni city wono 2 years na aka omo so omo nkasa na si abebepe no masa kobiem ene nasia omokwa ene afi na ba ni omo ba batwi so ezan se player na nkasa de contract na benawie wo ma ne ma Barcelona ene ma ne mre free yase strategy Barcelona for so ma fa no enter Emile Laporte ene afi na ombe ndede bia he sankofo so omo ntona omo de omo problem bia enso ka akoba kakra ni now Badi Bakola Liverpool for muntie ni ye yase Nanka Liverpool sikapa ya like say Liverpool betmetia aya something around 120 million euros 120 million euros anopa ya me by 30 minutes ago yazi Pierre the phone say Morgan Rogers Chelsea at 117 akwa we good at the time Morgan Rogers and it's a Liverpool say omope Badi Bakola akoda we so bo eye 170 million euros winti na gadi agobo 170 million euros and this Liverpool for so many abredia and akoda ne bo no anything less than eye 170 and now there's some better we must say 100 million kwado we consider but before 10 Liverpool for the we mo bid hu komo ediba no yes o ko England teams up no mo pe Badi Bakola bia we bia so se Bakola de ya de I for 80 bi kwa na 90 bi kwa ye menya Badi Bakola abuja don't ask so Pierre the first one per 170 million and two classes can the naja what catch with team Liverpool for no and ya mun come on to me and now the sa mun subenya brantano Edin Sheko one saw the Saka 04 and the aba ayetaman Bundesliga and come on Saka ya say woman a new contract to 2027 and Teddy Zako at the age of 40 was a year to mano and ya met me any update Mensaka ne na Manchester United for no mongada ha na mame Marcus Rashford na yase Manchester akwa di nkomo Roma se wo munya manu kona akoda na France fifi ho wo ma aye all ntomani mu tetra bench kakra no yase akoda no ase Manchester ko se wo munya akoda no mo pe yase Roma for so no problem say the Manchester United and with a man of Kone Yadia and Tomu Pensanso no more Roma for no and so we say Marcus Rashford a dear pant with the Badena Menje as a Uko Probi Niabano Super Niabano was a conta Yenis said but oh I go for the way there and your Bonibia or many Manchester this is a Manchester so Permano Kona and almost so and for Marcus Rashford and for problem being here today and young Kobaka Kram in second I would demand you to Manchester Abetia said ya and you're not no and yes it no sweat mapa and come on second now Maminko Galatasaray Minko Turkey kakra Minko di come Turkey Abante ni Ginari Chardi Catalare once oya number 10 na ya Atlanta bobo kona hona akoda weko Manchester United player ni dia Bruno Fernandes yaziga atasara fana kasa omunya Bruno Fernandes no muso madwene hu se Manchester fana so be den enya de se Manchester beja akoda ndi na bam and is a Manchester nya akoda na mane madia ene wo muni problem dia wo mokọ Atlanta Chardi Catalare akoda no amna na fe wo ma mesia kan fama ega atasara bobo kono anya we kwa dia yazin kwafo ni chasa Atlanta ne bo pa no 50 million euros no problem. Yes, my also sorry. I can't Atlanta fans. I could away there. Or I could be there. Adam Atlanta Bobo could new cancel with Jacodano. A man could be and Quebec Quenya. Namian Liverpool for the my Niamo. Liverpool for and say, Mostraka be a baby a bump. Liverpool. Soccer son and say Liverpool do mo ben na bomb. Mokofa da win nest in the by hey. Yahu hey. Nano da makwa kofa kwa ba kun wa the same kwa. Alexander Isaac akwa he goes our by eno so yahu hey. Ada Katia nan koya de kakay na muye ni yodom na manya sense ndi ama no Mohamed Salah okọ. Bato enkoma kakra me se ka ese yezi back six as bo ko no. Atese player na Liverpool for kofa ne ba honya de Darwin Nurse na okọ team and dina de Hilal no wo mo tese o mo ne Hilal for kasa 4 million per hey Darwin Nurse and 4 million we adi jagopo ade mu ye dem 4 million and o mo say o mo de call loan obligation to buy no say go ba say wo munya Darwin Nurse omna me adwuma kakra enso enfamo ma ne reporter minsa eka e wo adwuma de so ne make kire kakra adema na mamenko aye Luis Diaz na Luis Diaz e player adema Bayern Munich gboboko no abusia reporter minsa ka from Luis Diaz akatini yase saw the phone say akoda we e yo mo target so twene mu time anya betene ye pe yi Bundesliga no o ma hu se wa babo ni ye but over Saudi Pro League na o mu nya prospect bi say o mu nya players bi say and da boa amane man so akoya ma Saudi Pro League no aya kono enti o mu de o mu ani swade hunu nyina sa brand wo betimanya no no aba be yaduma no already o manya Cristiano Samafio ama akoda na ba Saudi Pro League no mu a ene nei o mu nya Luis Diaz no so betimi aboye pa aye nkoba kakwa ne na Arsenal fan the Gunners winten here enkoba me nsa nie answer William Saliba jebasa season na Saliba ni ho ya say Arsenal for ya late decision bi enkoba muti no around abanta de Kuti Romero Christian Romero no captain Adama Tottenham Hotspur but Argentina any bano enkoba kakra me nsa ka ya say ono ana Arsenal for no efisa womunya no na ye cool price a on beto abante no yazi Tottenham Hotspur say the ball 42.5 million pounds per say akoba say Arsenal beje says Canada and ye omobo me on betrans na fe wo metima he so metima di san komo na and ye reporter Mr. Eka e wo duma de so mo bi say Bruno Guimaraes ni move to Arsenal no me pato update ni nie ya say Arsenal for nya second thought because o me hu say kwan a Newcastle for the over fast no. I'm say Newcastle person better advantage again. I do Bruno Guimaraes. I did not my Arsenal team no. And the other say so many na so many Joe Menema. And yeah, one more go back for Alex Scott. Edney FC Plymouth. As I say, I could always do a good ass. Sanya Bruno Guimaraes and so I it is Newcastle for the first straight to ma. One month na France and one more for Alex Scott. Edna Alex Scott to clear. Once I see Charles Yako, I'm a mubo 64 million. Pounds. I see Charles for so betia and the Abranton and now okay, my main tema didn't Alex Scott way. A player Chelsea any dignity. And a bar said, Yazi Chelsea person mo hijack Abranton the other Bruno Guimaraes. Ni to Arsenal no. And Arsenal so affect as okay, so Chelsea. Mo person mo hijack na mo man Newcastle first way in dia. And a player now mo penal score to no yes you penal. And other said Chelsea. Ebejala score to say no matter Bruno Guimaraes eti asem ana say wo medi Bruno Guimaraes eti na Arsenal and so after Alex Scott but this you know say na transfer window no akwa between Arsenal and the P there say Chelsea and your London boys in Koma kakra if you makati edi ebanie na mamenko Palmer Katu menko din Koma kakra Suzuki wono goalkeeper Adama Palmer akodawe makato se nti every Ghana ha atazanka otimi da edema Ghana Japan man no awada church go post me de momo yesi Juventus say akobana say Emiliano Martinez wo munya Emiliano Martinez na team and de Aston Villa ma Sadio na ya de ndia ene so munya Sion Suzuki akoda no so ba ene ma betima koye kama e de amom na Martinez o so wo maduma ye na niam so atima wie pe e de amom ene yankoba kakra mensaka e wo duma de so ene e wie mi bo atire kakra e de amom na moma me nkogo ese bia menya matches kakra de amama ezanse ene de international friendlies no baby do ho atasa no so etototwa ewe yentisia ahodo so na Auckland City Tottenham Hotspur atomo pomo ntram no ama Auckland City womo enso entemante abranta ne dine Scarlett wonu nya go na Richarlison enso nya go erma Tottenham Hotspur ayas bobo ko na te Burnley abomu 2-1 Feyenoord make say na womani Raya Vanakano na elbow Feyenoord asemieno Vanakano asabako afe team and dine enso de Eintracht Frankfurt womati Charleston abomu ntram yenu a womunsu entime entia bato de tene adese Inter enso ewo game amunso elbow womani team and dine Karlsruhe womunsu ewo game Rangers and West Ham United ewo game and afe so adese team and dine Cannes obo enso ene Roma ewo game bo Lazio enso ene Flaminania enso game bo Napoli enso ewo game eso monso ebo Carrassi so game Atalanta enso ene Rosso ewo game ana Sevilla monso ene team and dey quit enso game ene matches kakra be eja ewo wete notable ones ni bia mede ma mo wante sa hodo so etena other friendly matches ni bi beto do beta we dey etena ya ba na ya ba be di san komo no e dey am na ma mu update pa headquarter ni dey Eddie Howe na ensantofa ko bi sanse Bruno Guimaraes no woko anaso atena my update kakra akoda no say na ne nkomo na sitia na yentie nkomo kakra so Eddie Howe ama asusa branta no wobeko anaso onko Arsenal no duade entaye ni.
And so much being said, you know, externally about Bruno Guimaraes and his situation at the club. Have you spoken to him, and what is the current situation there?
Yeah, I've spoken to him as I would do Bruno normally. You know, he's just a fantastic person. Had some really good conversations, both sort of before the World Cup, during the World Cup, and after the World Cup. So what we speak about obviously has to remain private, but just a great player, a great person, and look, I don't know what's going to happen with Bruno's future. That's for other people to speculate about, but also conversations that I'm not part of.
Okay, area we need nkoma dia ma say abrante de nyame ni okazo onim de we besi akwa na wadi tro but ade onim ya say oye player ofidi ni ye pa bibia nso betumi akoye e dia ma no nkoma kakra so eja eba e wo dwumadi so na Enzo Moesca new Manchester United head coach so kasa ona dwuma na wa ba be fa na ye bisa nsem pabo akasie papa ubetumi aye dwuma na dwuma na ye simple edema na yente Enzo Moesca ono so nkoma kakra
First of all, I have to say that it's a privilege because the reason why the club decide to go for me, that means that for me it's a privilege. As you said, I said many times that, as you just said, I consider Pep probably the best coach in the world in the last 20-25 years. But again, it's a challenge. It's nice. It's a privilege. Also, the history, you know, of the manager with many years in the same club. After always struggle a little bit. After Sir Alex, after Arsene. But also, it's a challenge to try to do the right things immediately for this organization, for the fans, for it.
Okay, Tinti, and also Yankoma Kakwanso, Enzo Moesca, new head coach at Manchester United. Edituja Elsuni, mu messages no, afe Minyambo Tenyi Kakan from Fosu, Bidat, was you guys are too much. Watching you live from Spain. Please more update on Barcelona. Okay, me the Abbas update in the Abba, Benjamin Francis area, or say Madrid for any player crowd, they are selling their TV to collect black black and white okay Matthias and young carbon say update on Yan Diamond dem say me diamamo and when he Benji okay Marcel was you good afternoon big Gabi watching you live from Navrongo okay Navrongo boys in my 2 billion and so as update on Madrid dem say mama mo Madrid update you know me ko benim kakra when he Prince was say okay Prince say o there no okay say no be a reply branch and Oman paying Talibu West was say boss good evening more update our Chelsea transfer okay Chelsea transfer them say okay mama me Chelsea you be what and Musa Tanko was say Barca update Musa my Barca be free Odu Isaac was say Barca update please okay the Oak GH was say my first time listening to you but your presentation is just simple a quiz man wasa sentim anono so edi efri edi abantino maminchia wonso ana shocky one was update on Rashford say Rashford the enemy amamu Rashford the amamo Hampo Kwadwo Frank was say any update on Manchester United Manchester media amamu Manchester the amamo Mr. Enzo Dibato Junior was say update on the Blues okay kakani mamira mesame kwacha little ken was say hi and I'm so much so ewa ha ana enusa atamu or say Gabi Thuram the foreigner and on so Eddie Aba okay Matthias here ana we so rider na because why and style be rider was update on Chelsea okay mehu ana afi kin Mufaso was update on Madrid okay ana Lynn Lloyd was I am Lynn Lloyd watching you live from Bekwai update from Newcastle United okay Sir Bruno Guamaras there my and so Eddie ama okay kakrani Frank Kojo Dumasi okay good afternoon bro good work more fire and also Eddie Abba and Mr. okay my strike one was say I am okay I am but I don't know Eddie Fadia Kavaso so God is king also update on Rodri to Madrid MSM my Eddie Amamentia say there will be something my me who update bi a me nyanya ye de but mame nkonko ha say say menya ba ku mienu bi dia mama ansana yetimi enso afa ye college na yetimi rodrom kakresa say e jani di demu say dikedi kasa ye wie ne sa na ja ye bie mu so lines na dia mam na yetimi akoyenim kakra but reporter mensa ekanie mame nkwa say na me nkonko ya de kakra ya se kata woko kata club and de Arian womu so mu din komo womu wese bia Teddy Sancho we metimenya offer bi dia ma Teddy Sancho na ja Teddy Sancho so etima hweda option no e bia se betimi afa na aboa na no ye reporter mensa eka e wodwumade so na UEFA e dia ba se Champions League draw no e group phase no and so officially date no e be ba on the 27th of August ana tese omo so e be UEFA e group phase e draw no na yetima ye draw na club bia be obia team bi ono so hia no yetima we de we ne man so si kwa no a reporter no so eba Luis Enrique reporter men second year we so why any clear aka tell the players ni nyina so are fully committed Paris Saint-Germain aduma no obekọ so aye diabo masane be ya ene man so betima koy adiamo men no reporter men sa eka e woduma de so eta make it kakra edi amon sha your number one can radio station na ma men trene kakra na men kwa tiam se men ko se bia Chelsea update na ba ba hwima na yetime aye aduma kakra enso adiamo na Atam Dovek report bi if Atam Dovek akate edi eba yesi Bologna enso ne abrante na dinkomo ama dese omunso ewese bia ne manyina betima koye no omunso etimi enya abrante Roma enso ewese bia enkomode ntimi ewie pair wo ma hwe se bia Bologna wo benye timi enya abrante de Atam Dovek wo so etima koye aduma no edi amoma ne report kakra so eba ewo duma de so ene ewie make it kakra de ma na yesi Arsenal boboko no wo ba kwa say 16-year-old talented abrante de Alex Donzil wano esi akan edema card boboko no Alex Donzil wo me de akoda na ba na yase akoda woni mbobo ye pa Arsenal for wotidi ye pa se Max Toma mo kwa mo fa so mo ye Max Toma mo no ebiom fisa akoda wo mo ye kakra akoda zo betima ya adwuma ne kaba e de amoma ne ya report eja mensaka ewo dwumade so ene anope awia nyina meka che kakra edema so na Chelsea for enso atwen Como wo bu proposal no se Como edi eba esan say yes around 30 million and Travel Chalova one so move to Como no so he say bia sa atu no betima kotu a na fe so no so atima twene ene ye reporter mensaka ewo dwumade so ne meka kire enso edi ama me bato reporter mensaka yes ne Daichi Commander one so player yes ko AC Milan wo mo so so metimi ama Brante na say aduma ni na Ruben Amorim eba sa Brante ni aduma kama erma Daichi sane eba ya ene ma so metimi akoye edi amamoke eno so nkoma kakwan so eba ewo aduma de so eja mi pieche kakra edi ama memsa ayi under pelodent de medical aye edi amam dada now ma menko avelo abelua na menko ye aduma kakra full manager no me bato wanya ne fair defeat the first game Norwich City at Norwich City at Nabon 2-0 and Tamani Avina Juman was as you 2-0 at once Fulham no and also Avela Belua reporter Menseka Eja Mebo Kakra and so Eddie Amoni and Community Yahweh Yanko Yanim Kakrana Miresabia Metimania update me at the account and so their mama na yet me every payer Sisia Mohamed Salah baby okode nya so cleo Salah de no yenya hu baby Salah eko Sadio no so me de mani di atire Mohamed Salah ti obi aba na ye hu baby Mohamed Salah enso kwa me se memo maswate na eno so atima ye kama ye pa na Sisia made de tire ho wan say mo ye din ye pa o new players aba Panado Silva ba Ibrahim Konata ba Makukura ya nso aba ene wo mo pe Yando Monde Rodrigo wo mo hia Rodri Danfries nso aba ntem saka two players ha wo mo so betima ba be ka Madrid on sane be ya Madrid tuma na nyama so betima koye e de mama no aye Madrid nkoma kakra mudi e wo tuma de so ne ye ka tire diamanti Madrid distance no e me se mo nkoma na medi ne kakra kakra sa e de mama won hyehyɛ ahodo nyina so na ma me hwe kakra na me hwe se bia menya kakra so afiri anu ma de mama more on transfer update okay Maria ha ma me nkwa anum say na me nkonko he e bia se metime ewie kakra wa ha de mama na yetimi akwanim sabesto na mo message no mo fam na mo message no mo fam na mo de message ne ba na metimi akenkan kakra di amamo e wo screen no so na yetimi enso akwanim sa na okay Manchester on Orient Tramane at the time in Saka yes mad the four are happy but Abrante no ana kodane so yesi wonyo opeso otena mad the bobo koti Manchester for modaya so na mo so ne de nyame anim ne ahwe na ade den tibi amaso ahwe na ade no so tibi amaso no reporter Damen Seka e wodwumade so na Sparta Praha so yesi o masan Jonathan Brandt Jonathan Brandt atesa Brandt no so aba be adwuma kama e de amomom no so enkoma kakani ade wono na eye Ellen Haaland kase no akodano no obeye adwuma no enso edammo Ellen Haaland nia bia de yeso ya de pa enti koma kakra na piaze enso di nkoma pia di nkoma wo mu di nyina aya Brante ne de Magnisa Clutch anasa Clutch wo mo pa Brante no se edema nyina timi koya akodano so mo hwe around by 50 aya million euros ani eske ese remo ama yasi pia di first wo mo de 35 anu betwa AS na kwose masa 35 de abujafu so na mokura mo se Abrante ni dinade Brade Bakola ne boy ya 170 ana Clutch na mo de sikan kidinkidi we di ba muntum tamutuma ene man so betima koya no reporter bensa eka e wodumade so ahati Malik Diop akoda we West Ham United update time seka say Brentford enso edu opening bid na edi akọ na Matisse yasi West Ham United enso din komo wo manya do kakra from Slovan Prague at Slovan Prague for no wo ma do say 25 million euros and yeska wo peso mutiana ahati drop Malik Diop enso tuma ba besia kan edem better Brentford for say wo manya na akoda na obetumi abo me pa entomu guso mo he se na be nneema so betumi akoyem e de mo me ne reporter men se kam e wo duma de so Manchester United wo mo so mo prepare do mo third bit e de akọ Oli Watkins e so mo nya Oli Watkins e san so mate se Joseph Zexi be ko se Joseph Zexi e ko dia e de so mo nya Oli Watkins na fence Oli Watkins e be ya duma e de mo me ne yankoba kakra so eja e ba ne me ba chire kakra e de ma wo duma de so ata se ya papi kakra enso e de Roma no nkoba ni nie yanko enim kakra na me se bia menya bi so de ma madu de nkoba na ona Branton de Hendrick yeso no de Mourinho asase omo asase abrante no wan hwa abrante de bako obenya ko ebia lonti bi o mema akoda na ko esan se de wa Mourinho si di ni nkobo no wan hwa na akoda no wentime enso antena team no esan se wo fi se adwuma no omde ama na nya nkoda adwuma so o ya ma bibia so koye ane nkoba kakwa so eja eba ewo adwuma de so ne me pileche kakra enso Edema Gonzalo Garcia reporter men se ka SM yes from Madrid the Fulham bobo konom enso edi nkobo Fulham se Omanya Gonzalo Garcia ene wo yo mo top striker ataso mo hwe nim se ya kan se akwai na ho time wedi 2 goals wo na ho ataso mo hwe se bia onu so betimi aba be fa kodan na kona wakwa ye tuma na dia mo no ye reporter minsa eka e wo duma de so ene ewie no mebo che kakra enso dia ma wan hihia hodo nyina so ensam ni to so beta se ne be ye benya ya kwanya dia ma ye listeners no yembiem kakra fa mama okay now meka ona Branton dina di Mohamed Salah now Mohamed Salah update ni ni yase back six at bobo kono edin komo so mema Mohamed Salah contract na agreement in principle no ma have na so agreement the reporter men say say wo mo say 1 year no mo de man per year bia no 12 million euros 12 million euros and yes come person mo de man no na owo option to extend and here 1 year anti contract to person mo de man no 2 years contract to 28 and here Mohamed Salah update fi Mohamed Salah akati eba ewe eja dwumade so a chese make tire dem already medical card was one player Arsenal for epeno Branton dina di Julian Alvarez beta say Alvarez say no dem Arsenal for mun sede ndi omun komani afa ne yetiti so mo say wo mo de ebia player bi beso so ne adade ane yankoba kakon so eja eba ewo dwumade so Brighton no overbion enso din koma Brighton so wo man ready omo so eba say Lucas Bergvall ebi obetimanya Branton from Tottenham Hotspur na Lucas Bergvall team no mo pa Branton no Northern Forest I don't know more so metimanya Lucas Bergvall na yase Tottenham Hotspur say 60 million pounds no scrum dia akuna no betim and 2 year team na pa akuna ne dia ebia 60 million utimi twa dia ade ne AC Milan guy no mbato AC Milan yase mu din komo Branton de Gerard Martin and so Barcelona player once already akuda we Chelsea etimi edine nkomo ebire bi atwam yase nkomo dia na sa Gerard Martin yase this summer AC Milan for say wo me de anya record is go meet me twa pa no 30 and now 35 million euros and the Sekoba se Barcelona for ebetias ya pa de na Gerard Martin and komunya Branton no na AC Milan no na me ya duma ne kama and for moment no reporter men saka free AC Milan and make a chire kakra at the ama wachi se awodo ina so insure your number one account radio station Nicolas Jackson so na Jackson so din komo ni move to Aston Villa no afi no so ehwese bia enema so betimi akoye ade amana no enkoba kakra so Nicolas Jackson efi na kate ade eba ewo dwumade esunti ehon koba kakra ni atase meka chire dika ade amamwo ya chisha wodo nya so ti no mama me fancy na ya hede de wa enema besi akono yatimi so edidi nkomo kakra odo we bra na me se ye betima fa course kakra ye course na ye de se fa kakra na etimi eboa na ye kwa nim sa ko pa ma ye okay Chelsea boys no ko pa ma ye okay Palma okay William Estevao wo mu na yo okay training and kodani di no eno so kama de ma Chelsea wo mo so hia hodo nyina so eno so Abdi Kakweja eba wo dwumade su ni eja maka kire ade ma munti update ni de am se dodo na monsa ka de amopa nyina no am se monsa aka ni nyina amane ma nso atima koye Mr. Harmony was it hi I am talking from Germany I'm here to hear 10 people messaging if you are interested okay Okay, what are you talking about? Okay, Maxine Lacroix. Benji said Maxine Lacroix, they told you. And tell you concern me, Maxine Lacroix, whom come be Maxine Lacroix, they told you, we be a quadro, Mike, and so quadro, toss up the name, say, my mom, do one, Nicholas. And so, say, okay. Jojo. Please, Chelsea San Bruno Quamares me pato Debbie, Chelsea Enyan San Codano, non person mu hijack. Nana Boate, Dankwa, was say I like your presentation, good toast. You are okay, Nana Boate from Asokoye Mampoke, Nana Medase, Nana Kwajo, was it from Accra Printers. Good afternoon, more update on Kotoko. And but in fact, Yamiani, foreign tidbit and qua, and the demand, but news be our broswa. Ya tie at the moment the channel no and Yao Lincoln. I say watching you live from Sevilla Lake Road Kumasi update on Barcelona and Rodri inti say my Ediamam kama Obroni and so Brakwa Abdul Karim no Karim Maminchao minimum say jama uwe jumamu ye juma and two Brakwa and Sunyami Nikanika mu Obroni Mamincha no boys no Obroni me classmate ewo TI and T dear Tiana no Yanamunina say mo messages no marking candle do na odo
champion Gabi that wa dey
Yabanti say mo makwa
2 hours
yes
2 hours pa 2 hours wa dey pa na me show it's they say be beer we exclusive beer we be beer
ya dey ni nyina ba
yes wa dey pa for ni mu
be be ehia nya obi ansaka
yes it's a Chelsea and who so team na ye c'est ça mon team da yo
ya team no ya pa enye
c'est mu se
enye yes se
mu tro bi a 5 7 6
yes se FN yes se ya pa to wa
Benji si o si Chelsea team na ye
za Benji sa ye
yes but I'm when you see mu team na ye
Bernardo Mwenu ya Manchester mpacho
o si Chelsea team na ye
nye nasem nye nasem Bernardo Mwenu emom Kedu si ana kase team na ye dia
na waje di
media di because on your Chelsea ni ma
team atamfo si mu team na ye
Gabi ya mpese ya tamfo bebo ya baso wonim se watamfo bo abaso a ka won se bia wati gu ho
atwitwi gu
ebia wati gu ebia oto apai
yes
ento bo abaso se na ebia wani nko wati wani beba ho na chese ya yo susuro
na chese ya wiwi okra what I say
team international care do the crucial
yes
the system and gas no be
champion
Kedu na say we there say we Sunday bibia na so
Sunday obetima
bibia na so ntuke
obetima
o de wada
o de ba ku no betima
ya de ba ku
yes
o de aja me wa
Sunday so ukwa
Sunday so de ukwa
anti Sunday
nka we say nka yesi no
official my wife
Kedu gas no oven
yes
so am bola kese na
okay
ope gas oven abenya bi ato
yes
ope warmer abenya bi ato
yes
ope cylinder abenya bi ato
yes ukwa
Kedu
we de ukwa
nka mawie
kakre bi
mawie ni nyina
yes
enti overke Kedu wadawromo
yes
wadawromo
na onipa si
waya
Fatilo odi bibia ma wana
Fatilo
so se otife na o control ye yes biaka
za
o so bi birthday o se den
za o the birthday bia ma
o so de ama o na mi ka kire o
ya se wu
wa ba o birthday bi keshe na
o de ama me
o de ama o ene e ma na mi sell
za
ba cho ai boss
na yemfa course ni wi ana
Samu
yemfa course
okay ene sira course mu amiti mu kan
pacho baby a wo bia frɛ
baby a wo bia ma frɛ si a
afi ni aba back
yes afi ni aba
back intino ye mama
Gabi di for ni na
ye de angles ni na de aba
yes
enti
aba for be say o kwa na say o tan oje
ojude o ha ju
ade na exclusive da bia what I say
obi anko ba bia yo ha ya
okay me no be there wa
ya eti e be ya adwuma ndi amamo but mo ye lines no mo nsa da nya family about ye lines ni ne 03220 83581 032208358 and as 032208358 but ubo 03220 ni wi afe 83581 the last number be betimi adan nsa akopim aye 4 83182 83183 and I say 83184 and the abe free be eso atwoki na wa frɛ foforɔ
yes it's frɛ
and odo
la no so ahyehyɛ show
eso
mi rare si a
mame
DJ Frank jama
first yi Mame first say. International now what they have in there see the international say international me hu international me hu pa international me hu and when tina me fa ho no na dem wi am boss international ke do hello
boss
yes sir
but after the you touch go kobla and am that play
hey senior hey azoda we dey nyam yo me pa cha azoda we dey nyam wala na akate afa me sabi hello Abani
boss
Avide mu da ho
I clear
yo bate
ai se bibi aboko
o nyame adom boko pa
na bia ni asiana watia bibi jama mwai
aha
o producer wa bojuma
ojo so pa
na wa reach am papa ki obi ga swimming
oh the crucial
aha the is my really wa kan dey ono onto oti
oh yes
ba hu ko kluk oba be so program national media kama
sa pepe
so just gas swimming si papa ndi en channel won kino
sa
de ya oba be bufia na ababoa na be dia dey akoso kama na we Barcelona for any money and this money at the body piece side de dia kama by difference na normal and some kakra ho so that's the Barcelona 24 say omobodi an say the difference no be na that's league na the difference are the league and Barcelona kita by difference are the Champions League and Barcelona league
okay
what would you know so that's Barca for 24 so omobodi na omon ho na say be ya next season ya de ami ya makwade word best ya work up baby yes Champions League so so I complete so no for kwade you na work up what me ani bi na abi ya ma first work up mata be boa
sa be
endi tani ti jira akwa de work up say ona ba na ba na ba so so de dia no ya la won mo mo say ya la won ba oluma o ti je na akwa de work up hey wo
azoda be da say yan kwere me hello yes sir
Efremi David make us a free seria
David hey David seria boko de
boko fa
okay David my meet you
me pe Madrid a more friendly match now mo boys course no
Mate Miriam me de amamo ai hello oh went to be nyina so hello
Gabi
yes sir good afternoon
ajana multimedia for bian
obia ho ye
ni obia we tinja me pat up ni sa
abeku
Gabi
yes sir
na me bo asati de meeting executive for obia na nko masem remember de e bomba any say you could we this nje be say the president ti fe de e na bi bian go my come
okay
na si e bla ni dia ngam
okay men so mate mama nko be ni me hello yes sir
na house for no me say no mo ja dis ne bo na yam pani ngwa se why
za
ya mo fa baba sai na mama me bindi Muhammad Gaddafi man so pasase
okay
ni chamo na men kamo
okay on council ya da se pa men ko then went to be nyina so hello yes sir
me mo ayo
me do so kwaku
we ma we chale mo ba so na gasi agubo cha ubojuma na mabere ma me chacha makukufu na me chola bi ba chanti so na me sese koroko e league na chene be start anu le bompa e empanyinfo mo mari so betini atutu no mayi ni atre board na na no to for you no say omumpo bi a o nim je football mo a obetini amaleji koroko na no makwe basa no makwe dia makoroko nda se baba
okay men so me da se men ko benem we say dollar man or say more update on Manchester United better this is Tenzi boy from Accra no Odiaba Marcel was say more Chelsea was so disappoint fans okay men ko benem hello
Gabi
hey nana boama
na bi efemi jamra o
you ade na de me de ate jamra na jamra tembia me de woche tembia me de woche kafra wai nem kafra
jamra do na efemi apre bombia because 50 years
ma me ntio minua
Gabi, I Pep Guardiola free Man City need Man U ye better league in this season. Oh,
sir.
Chelsea so ye money na mo da be 8 and 7.
Because
Maha Yache. I'm head of sports. I program to Richard Mahana Chepa. Chelsea, they mean, person be able to say you.
Yeah, that's it.
There for 5 years, and then can a mobile Champions League. Can be me the pa.
Papa. Matthias here. And or therefore, I say some enemies encourage you. Some enemies' encouragement are always dangerous, and or therefore, so no. Hello.
Gabi
Benji.
Yeah, Gabi. I'm about so I'm going to talk about my area and I could I can't say the video say I don't put that a female league family review.
Okay.
If I don't talk and then it's in the demand they can you. What they 5 years, keep on your staff. For so we are with the for the black and white. We should do that here. We current press 5 for move bar. Then it can't be all the young money. You are or the English the money the Korea and as a matter for the sky in the million ball because how many Gabi Thuram. Benji,
okay, Benji, me say, Ojo Mama Kakra na ye na DJ Frank is in Samra.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
But your friend David,
okay, Dave, my interview.
Yeah, World Cup your mobile send for JN. Yama or more individual World Cup trophy.
The Omidima player be a ring.
Air ring.
And their player be a new on the air ring apart from medals or Majian.
Never say, dear now, Okuto air original one.
Air Barcope and to play a be up as a would you celebrate? No, would you not their child pictures a video now, but yeah, what we are now, would you video no being so bad to be a yan trophy dear? Trophy dear, Debbie. Sanity. Okay, Ojo Fao from Mammy. Hello.
The great Gabi Thuram the foreign number for pay.
Anane.
Oh, we are an usual. My bad democracy project room. What do I do? It's 104.5. And what I will say,
okay.
With the Mamicha Kruger, Nana Ajman Beduti and the scan. One of here or near Miss Atiba, Sabamutu, Mamicha, Mamicha, what I say. Babangula, electrician, which is with sports Mamicha. Now, Gabi, Obi by Ebeka said. Madrid, Brahim Diaz, Dagbulan, some Musa Payan Diamandi. Who just do a Jim Jettins or Pedro Neto, you know, or from Muga Rangers. And they're doing the other one about Trawai. As Messiah here, what I see. Nagami, I feed the league in the thing, also with the league the ball. And the Arsenal, because of the Arsenal. Hey, now,
my defender and their plan, and they're Montana.
Saliba. Na Saliba Pia, you were Timba Ewo, you were Christian Moscola Ewo, you were Gabla Magahed Ewo, Alicieli Ewo, you were Pielo Hinkati, you were any problem crowd. The friends they any problem crowd now feeling read the Gabi. Arsenal Messi one of 28 national league because Vinicius at the left, Saka at the right. Na Julian Alvarez at the middle. Na Bruno Gameles any the Carras and Mesa Medro. Na Odegaard at Gina or you are possible nema Saka mo.
Bye. Who asked anybody to tell? Ojo Blane, we na DJ Frank is in. Adawaphobia na hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Gabi Thuram.
Yes, I'm Bajo Udi.
I go for a shot of my problem. Some I'm play in Plefema. You can.
Hey, Kafra.
You did it out of one.
Okay.
That's it out of them because let's see them. Father, you are the Timano. Now, I did ask my final good in that Gabi Thuram celebrate water. Chelsea, most is a boy players to throw a man of the Ama. I say, will me, I another 17 million. Some of them can't have a panel. Moon out with the meaning after the 10, 5. After the
Yate Odobra, bra, Yeva cause behavior. Na DJ Frank is a mnamatras na Minya Fatilu, birthday in Fabano. Na Yentibin Coswinty, Adamasi said, yes. Mama Shuna,
yes, Sunday Bia,
yes,
Sunday Bia,
every Sunday Bia, 1:30.
Okay.
Set 3 babo.
Okay, near
Copim say Ghana Premier League
yes.
And he said no, and no crazy team.
Okay.
Him say me fan the old type no. Some years stories the man pim 3 pepe.
Okay.
Me man pim 330 230 to 240.
245.
Okay. And next week there may standing on more.
Yes.
You will be 3K. You will stories in 3K. You will never be cause.
Namisham. Obi ati bia Namisham. Namisham si tafo pankoro.
Omunyina bie wo.
Atonsu patase wonu no yesi jai. Take jai si be bia.
Okay.
Boban yesi jai. What I say?
Ma yamfa happy birthday. Kwaku Yabua Junior.
Oh, okay.
Kwaku Yabua Junior.
Okay. Yes.
We free one casa papa. Mr. Besmark Yao Nkrumah.
Yes.
Yabua.
Yes.
What was US of A.
Nice.
And was in Yamisha na.
Okay.
Omo nyinime yakoda pa.
Yes.
Na Ghana nso enya so mfa so.
Akola pa na nya.
Anti Kwaku Yabua Junior.
Yes.
Happy birthday. We so go ban Fatilo nsetima.
Fatilo.
The tear down.
Keshe na my keshe ba ku.
Yencha na B.
Na B.
E wo book room.
Father ti God say papa.
Yencha na B.
Papa be oba Nyamishra. Na me chef ya for na. Ni driver sin na. Nyamishra bu na bia.
One pa wi uchi ado driver fu de. Anka wa nwumre na uchi
ado. Ze. Omu che wi akura keshe no mu.
Na ma minchi ayi ya kan say boy yo ma ejesi. Diego.
Oh, Diego.
Yes,
Diego.
Me Jesse Bia, Monsieur Bia.
Diego
na Eddie Mame. But oh, there, who pay Jesse at toi? DMCCA.
Okay.
Who pay Jesse at toi?
Yes.
Na what there, Fremi.
Who
pay Jesse at toi? What there, Fremi CCA. Who pay Jesse at toi?
Yes.
It's no one say, Ober Frems. Oh. Me pay Jesse atu Jesse ne ebi wo ha na
nice
na me ma Jesse kama
esi ko fobi wo
yusu
yes esi ko fobi wo patase esi no mo biemu
sa
patase be bia esi no mo tie
sa
ene si santase wo so de jai be bia obi o tie bia Nyamishra no
o pay Jesse atu afra me line is 0546 279 512 from Sisia on Sabeka JCB.
Okay.
ATB and so I can
original Desipa.
Yeah, quality one.
Yes.
Wait to me and enjoy now. I can.
Yes, last time match did you about 40 years.
I pay it. I pay it.
Yes.
No, I never share.
Namishra Bibia. You don't be